I'm Dr. Behroz K. Mistry, consultant physician, practicing in Karachi for the last 42 years now, a graduate of Dow Medical College in the year 1978, did my MBBS from Dow and did my post-graduation from Republic of Ireland, National University of Ireland, Masters in Internal Medicine. And then later, after coming back from Ireland, I have started working as the consultant physician till today. I'm working in hospitals as well as in the private setting, looking at treating patients of all patients dealing with medical problems day to day. After that, I'm practicing as a consultant physician onwards, mainly at the Karachi Adventist Hospital, and in isolated here I'm with the Anjuman Clinic in Hilal-e-Ahmar, and I also cover Parsi General Hospital.
Now kindly let us know about your daily routine.
Since all these years, except from, you can say, the last 9 months, the routine has been changed. I used to work like I used to have about 5 clinics with the Karachi Adventist Hospital and inpatient rounds every day at the hospital except Saturdays. I used to be off. And of course with Parsi General, it is more than 18 years or so. I used to do once a week there. Every Monday I used to go in the afternoon. And here at the Anjuman, it's about more than 5 years we are doing Monday the clinic here. And of course at Hilal-e-Ahmar I started around 2001, you can say. And initially I used to go about 4 days and then 2 days like that. And then I scheduled my way like that in the OPDs, 3 OPDs at the Karachi Adventist. Here I am coming. And at Parsi General, I'm more on them at the telephone, WhatsApp with the reports. They do my consultation where they need me. So far, and of course Hilal-e-Ahmar, I go twice. So far, I mean, we have to protect ourselves, as you know, how it is taking the toll of all the health personnel.
Madam, what kind of patient do you treat on daily basis?
Mainly, if you look at my spectra in my field, I see acid peptic disease, which does not require the gastroenterologist intervention in most, and who are managed conservatively on one side. Second is infectious diseases, and in infectious disease you start from respiratory, UTI, intra-abdominal, then of course latest is malaria, dengue and COVID on this thing. So this, if you look at infectious, it covers all in a nutshell. And then of course in metabolic, if you look, most of these patients are associated with morbidities, diabetes, hypertension, hearts, of course plus minus, we do see them, but they are IHD, but these are the main issues here. Diabetes is very much, and of course hypertension, more or less it is associated. And then of course nowadays we see a lot of low vitamin D, hypovitaminaceous D, we see osteoporosis and all that also. So in this scenario, you see mainly we get, of course, other like thyroid problems and other things, everything we cover. So they are there, but not if you compare, like if you say, okay, in 10 patients, 7 will be definitely diabetics. It is so high, it's going so high. Every 3rd patient who will come will be a new which has been picked up. Either it is impaired glucose or pre-diabetic or diabetic, anything, you see. So this is the thing. But nowadays, once the issue of fever starts or respiratory symptoms, and we try to pick them, dengue, malaria and this thing, COVID.
And what about hepatitis C, madam?
Yes,
it is also
now, yes, we come to that. It is there, the B, the C. What we do is that in our setup, we screen, and if we get the hepatitis B and C, Infective hepatitis A, E is okay with us that we do. But B and C, what I do is always try to give them some consultation with the gastro. And they will decide if they have varices to go for the OGD and all these things. And once that problem is cleared and they have to be maintained for chronic liver disease and they are sent back to us, we manage them. If they want to be with the gastro, they go. So B and C, we do manage. Initially, B was very high, but now in the few last years, it is the C which is really up. So B is of course covered where vaccination is there and it has slowly down, but the C is there, and really people, they are very well for 2-3 years and suddenly they go in complications and that leads to the death.
It's a silent killer.
Yes,
actually.
exactly.
Yes.
It does. So, but our vigilance is to pick them up early. Similarly with chronic kidney disease, it is like that. We see them, we control blood pressure, all that. Time to time we do the just say ultrasound, UC, everything. And then at a time, this thing consultation, it is my habit, let them go, let them be satisfied. They see the nephro advises, continue this, they come back to us. If they are rapidly going, then we leave it at the nephro. So it is like
right.
Climatic problems related Karachi ke hawale se.
Climatic is, the flu is very common. The flu is asthma, chronic COPDs, all are there in respiratory. And nowadays we have to differentiate the flu from COVID.
Yeah.
Now, 2-3 patients just came with these symptoms. Recent, I'm talking this week. And in that, the dengue rapid was done, and of course COVID was done. In one of the patients, the dengue rapid was positive, then her serial CBC showed low WBC and all that. And in the others, it was just simple respiratory, and of course COVID was negative. So you see, the symptoms initially all will say, "Ha, bukhar hua tha, 2-3 din, abhi nahi hai."
These are the same, like
yes,
coronavirus.
and we have to be very careful. Of course, if they are flourishing cases like dyspnea, all that, typical, then of course it is understood that they are having. Last 2-3 days back, the fever was going on in a young patient, and his father, being a physician, he put him on and advised him this, but he wouldn't go. And then he did the X-ray, and then there were linear concentrates, and he did the the COVID, and it was positive. Now he is better by the grace of God. But this is how different ways the patients are picked up. We had a few months back, patient having just abdominal pain, nothing, digestive problems, no fever, nothing, went on and on. 2 tests of COVID, even at AKU, were negative. And finally the patient started dropping the saturation, no respiratory problems. This patient was then hospitalized, but they believed that this is typical of COVID, and they went on with the 3rd test. That was negative.
There was no temperature and nothing.
Nothing, no temperature. That was negative. Initially, no temperature. It was negative. And this was now about 3 weeks when the onset was there. Then they did not a nasopharyngeal, they put an oropharyngeal, and inside they took a swab, and that was positive. And after that, then they started, and then she started having fever, then pelvic hematoma, coagulation problems, and it went on, and fever, even after recovering, still 4-6 weeks, low grade, went initially spiked, and then it disappeared. Skin rashes are the same. And so it presents in a different, some patients complain whether it is just psychological, I'm dyspneic and all. But if you look at the X-ray, the saturation, they are too good. So you see, you have to really differentiate and even satisfy the patient and treat accordingly. Some patients are just treated over the phone and the WhatsApp and video and all. But other patients, they have to go to the hospital.
Right.
Overall, preventively, awareness के point से कुछ आप अपने तजुर्बे से लोगों को बताएंगे.
And what kind of test one should get done yearly or
yes.
half yearly?
You see, what my policy is that like routine patients who come 4 months, 6 months, 3 months they come, once a year, even in this clinic we do the basic test, okay? And in that if we see say uric acid is impaired or they are near the sugar is or lipids, anything, then we guide them first
CBC.
up. Anything we pick up. Then within the next 6 weeks or within 3 months, depending on the results, we repeat the test. And initially we just give them guidelines, diet, exercise and things. And if in the repeated, and we even ask that come in the clinic once a week and sugar, you have the facility here. And if it is going constantly high, then we call them earlier, give them medication and follow up. But if those who are just routine, more or less everything okay, then we do it after 6 months or once a year. Even most of the patients we get vitamin D is insufficient or very low. So we try to cover that also. And of course patients, some are symptomatic like they have body aches, pains and all that. Others may have no symptoms, they are just picked up. So in that is one way of doing. Other things as we see in the infectious point of view, the infectious disease, the first like we do if they have fever, we go for dengue, blood culture, rule out enteric.
You mean hemoglobin? It decreases hemoglobin sometimes.
CBC with ESR, and if they are showing some changes there, neutrophil lymphocytic ratio going up or whatever, then of course we do the further tests. In that we have C-reactive protein and all that, and repeat the ESR. And then of course we do the dengue test, we do the COVID test and ICT. This goes parallel to the culture if they have fever. And initially in CBC, if we pick up anything, low platelets or anything, some patients with CBC having low platelets who have nothing from the hematological point. But if you do the LFTs, their enzymes may or may not be raised. But if you do the hepatitis screening, they turn out to be hepatitis C or B. And we have picked up patients like that also. And then we go for ultrasound and other things, coagulation profile. And then of course in typical distinct tests where COVID is concerned, then of course we do LDH, procalcitonin. They also are covered with calcium, vitamin D, but these are the LDH, procalcitonin and D-dimer, B5, all these later on.
Okay.
But and of course UC, LFTs, the basic chest X-ray, we do it. And it is believed that in that, if you even don't get, it is better to do a CT rather than an ultrasound. If you have to pick up, some patients, they get on the CT and the X-ray is not too much for, to give them. But these are the clues, and by experience you learn, you change your methods, and you try to do what is evidence-based medicine. You can't just do the battery of tests. We have to see the finance, the cost. Patients coming to the hospital only pay from distance that much for the transport. And then they have to do the tests, and then they have to take the medication. And one patient with 2-3 problems and 2-3 drugs cover this, you add this, it comes to so much. So in these days, so we are more cautious. And some patients say कि आज मैंने ये नहीं कराया क्योंकि अभी मैं 2-3 महीने दोबारा आऊँगी तो कराऊँगी, ये मैं कर सकी. So we have to accept.
आपकी तरफ से मैसेज
ये है कि the general patients who are okay, as we see, they have to at least 6 months to 1 year contact the physician. Screening ये होती है. दूसरे patients जैसे कि अभी ये आजकल COVID is on the top. So in that cases we all do first the preventive measures, distancing of 6 meters, mask, gloves, and this thing, hand washing 20 correct way, then the properly to don and doff your apparel, what you wear. Like I'm sitting here with this, when I'm there, I will wear my headgear, I will wear everything, and then go ahead, even in the OPD, because then on this lab I will put my green gown thing. So wherever you have to do. And then of course preventively for others, when they come home, this is not, they have to wash their their feet, their slippers or shoes, whatever, that is very important. Change this thing, have a bath, wash your hands. I mean, how much they are doing, but this is the best prevention and the best vaccine, you can say. And it does help. And try to avoid crowded places, do online shopping or whatever. Once in a while, everybody wants to be out or take a walk in the fresh air, and fine. But you take preventive measures, that is the... And in the first instance, when you have fever, or you are not the same as what you were, or sneezing or coughing, anybody with 48 to 72 hours, just take symptomatic treatment, Panadol, antihistamine, and rest at home. Build lot of fluids in you, take that and observe. Once if you are settling, it is fine, but still 5th day you go for the test. If it is negative, fine, you treat it and you are out. If it is positive but you are better, isolate at home and continue. The use of Azomax in the first instance, of course, is varied. Some physicians go ahead with it, some wait. It is a viral, and in the CBC, as we say, there are no high WBC count or any leukocytosis or down of neutropenia is there, and the lymphocytes start rising. So the ratio is altered. So in those scenarios, you don't give. But in those which have, of course, you go for it. Then other thing is observe your oxygen saturation closely. You should have that.
SpO2.
Yes, and if you have on the pulse oximeter, you should keep above 95. Normally we say 90, but not in these patients. It should be above 95. And if they have oxygen problems, they should not use this mask. They should use the K95 or N95 mask, which is very good for that. That is important. And then of course after that the disinfection, the spray, people can make it, there are ratios with bleach, warm water, paper towels, and everything should be trashed off. Disposable gloves should be worn. Proper in their rooms, they should either use disposable utensils, or if they want to use one, they have to do their own washing. All houses may not have one bathroom, but if you use that, it is very important to disinfect the whole thing, and that can be done time to time, and the other people should be away from the person who is at home. So in this way it is done. All these things have to be followed, and you minimize, and it was done, and we all know that how the graph came down. But again, with negligence, freedom, it started going up,
again,
and we
yes.
are back to the same.